Social media. You probably know that social medias are now part of a person's daily routine. But do you know how many people use social media platforms at work? To understand the huge phenomenon that is social media, let's start from some statistics. In general, 52.1% of all employees are allowed access to social media sites at work for personal use. 24.8% of businesses only allow some employees to do this, while 23.1% of businesses do not allow any employees personal access to social media sites at work. In this diagram, the most used social media are listed by usage. It includes, but are not limited to, emails, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Employees are interrupting their work most of the time through checking their personal email, which is the most frequently checked feature with 91.7%. Facebook messages are checked 58.5% of the time, LinkedIn messages 47.9%, Twitter 22.6%, and so on. We ask, is it true that your business can benefit from utilizing social media sites? Using social platforms to work-related tasks could make an effective marketing campaign and be used to facilitate knowledge sharing. But we should understand how social media use at the workplace could negatively affect job outcomes. In fact, social media represents a distraction from a task. For instance, a reminder of a new message or new software updates catches the attention of the recipient immediately, regardless of the work at hand. A worker usually gets interrupted at least 6 to 8 times per day, and such interruptions occupy 28% of the working hours of the employee. Access to Facebook at work was found to cause a 1.5% drop in productivity. With these numbers, it's quite obvious that distractions due to social media could affect job performance. For instance, the distractions can lead to increased time to complete the primary work, more shallow thinking due to limited cognitive resources, memory disruption, difficulties to return to the task at hand, and interferences with family affairs and leisure issues. Now that we have well defined the problem, we should ask ourselves, what are the possible solutions to control it? With the technological progress of smartphones, which give people portable social networking access, organizations can no longer reduce the use of social media at work by having parts of it inaccessible on workplace computers. Organizations can only reduce social networking with the right management tactics. In particular, a leader or a manager is often the one that has to cope with that problem, as he is responsible for taking care of the company and the employees. We ask the question, in which way can a manager deal and communicate effectively with the employees regarding social media use? Let's start from a theory. The equity theory, which was formulated by the Belgian psychologist John Stacey Adams in 1963. It states that in a relationship, people will seek to achieve a good relation between their inputs and outcomes. When applied to business relationships, a possible input could be staying focused on job activities during work time, while outcomes could be wages, employee recognition, etc. When an employee perceives to put more into his job than he receives from it, using social media could be one way of reducing his input. Through the use of equity theory, managers may be able to control excessive use of social media by striving for more balance in employee input and outcome. In practice, what does a leader have to do to reduce the employee's desire to access social media during work time? Possible solutions include assigning a job to the employee that is not too difficult but challenging enough to keep them engaged. Communicate policies regulating the use of social media at work to the new hires. By communicating the policies early on, the new employees have a clear view of what is expected from them. One should always remember that being explicit is important. People seek to do well when they know what is expected from them. Use performance-based recognition. Recognition of employees that have done a good job staying focused on work can be done at organizational meetings. This will motivate the other employees to do the same. Use visual aids like charts, posters and slogans that portray safety and liability issues caused by using social media. Sometimes images are more effective than words. And last but not least, organize training programs. This is to remind the employees of the company's social media policies and to connect excessive use of accessing social media with poor job performance. To summarize, what have we learned? Social media use at the workplace could be a very powerful resource to connect employees, sharing knowledge and experiences, and to communicate with the customers. However, social media could also be a trap, leading to stress and distraction that reduce job performance and company revenues. For this reason, it has to be communicated and controlled, so you as a manager can cope with the exponential growth and expansion of social media and technology, while at the same time experience a positive growth to your company.